Good afternoon, this is Millicent Castillo and you're listening to Radyo Kapwa on CKUT 90.3 FM, where all Filipinos are Filipino enough.
Mabuhay! You know that introduction is Veronica speaking. So for those who's just tuning in, you're listening to CKUT 90.3 FM. This is Radyo Kapwa. Today I'm joined by Fran Stoner, my co-host, and Desiree Ruiz, my other co-host. Laura, who's making sure that we all sound good. Justin, we have not forgotten you. Angelica, who's also doing our community announcement, our marketing, / Desiree also, who's doing our marketing at the side. And for today, we're really excited to welcome Millicent Castillo, who is our dear Kapwa, doing a lot of community work for the youth. Yeah, for the youth. And then I don't want to take up more space because I know that you would like to, amp yourself up and get your inner Veronica out. So, dear Millicent, can you please introduce us to yourself and for our listeners?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much. That was such amazing music to hear. So my name is Millicent Ann Castillo. I'm born here in on Jojage, and I come from immigrant and refugee parents from the Philippines and from El Salvador. So that's like a little baseline. I am so many things. I am queer. I'm a late bloomer queer person. I don't know. There's just so much. I'm not sure how to describe myself, but I think one of the many things is I define myself as like an artist. I am also someone that lives with a chronic illness that is invisible. So it does take up space in my life. Not always in a bad way, though, in good ways, too. Big learner, really pro, like anti-capitalist, really into like the decolonization work and movement, and really all about like radical like self-love and like what does that look like in my life when, things get tough, and how do I show up in those ways? Yeah, I think, yeah.
That's a beautiful introduction. Hello, Fran Stoner here. Happy to be here and have this conversation. And I just wanted to take a moment to highlight that Millicent also does really wonderful work with a nonprofit organization called O3. O3 stands for On Your Own, and it offers support services and transitional housing to young and vulnerable parents and their children. So that's really good. It's like an amazing service here in our neighborhood of Cotanej, NDG. I'm always uptown, proud, represent. So thank you for that important work you do. And maybe that's what we can jump into first, of like, maybe tell us about how these kind of anti-oppressive and decolonial values have influenced like the community work you've been doing.
Yeah, thank you for asking. So I've been at this job for like about a year and like a few sprinkles of months. And honestly, it's just been an honor to work with like these parents and get to know who they are and their needs. So I think like the way that I show up with O3 is just having processed a lot of things within my life and like doing like what seems like a forever healing journey. I think I show up with them with a bigger sense of like understanding and like a little bit more of like a calmness to them. I think like, which it's something that's like really important for me to do when, we have like vulnerable parents coming to you with all of the different things that could be happening to them in their lives, and just coming to them like with a space of like softness and like understanding and just being that person that I am for them. I think it just like highlights like, a way to be in the world. Sometimes there's just a lot going on, and, we get angry, we're like yelling, like there's just so much happening. And I think just being that person for them is really important. And in being that person, I'm able to kind of like facilitate like workshops that, they might not have been able to access as well. So, right now I'm currently doing like a 3-part workshop where we're just practicing what rest could look like for you. right? So either like we'll have like some karaoke soon, because that's definitely I want to bring a little bit of that like Filipino like resting vibes to them, but like going from like a small guided meditation or like just, little box breathing and things like that. So I think that's the way that I come to this work. Just by being a soft person for them and to them as well.
A little fun fact is that before I actually ask my question, little things that we do on our own, like providing service for our community, I think it shows how deep we wanted to like care for our community, and we find it manifests in in different ways. And you found yourself in O3 in supporting and being providing unawa is essentially what you're doing to these young families who still trying to get their get to be more stabilized in their life. And fun fact is that I jumped into a call when I still used to work in a nonprofit, and I saw your name and I'm like, that name is very similar. Like, is it the same friend? I'm not sure, but like Millicent Castillo is not a very popular. Millicent is not a very popular name. You're the only person that I know who is named Millicent. Your face showed up, and I'm just like, you see how everything is connected, because
Yeah.
I was part of I used to work for a nonprofit providing workshops to know their rights. And so when I went to your office, your headquarters, and I see all of this young family and the need to really equip them of their rights when it comes to tenant rights, when it comes to their children's rights, and the procedure after it. So I think it's such a great way to see this kapwahood to like take care of your community and manifest in different ways. So I just wanted to point it out that you're
Mm-hmm.
doing such an amazing work, and we
Oh,
keep on just crossing paths, and I'm just like, yeah, that's my kapwa doing something on the other side. So your
oh,
work is changing a lot of lives. I'm
thank
putting it
you.
out there. But also you just said it yourself earlier, you're queer. So how does being queer, but also having an invisible chronic illness, inspire your art? I remember the first time I saw your art, I actually commented saying like, it looks nice on the eyes for some reason. And I just I have to let you know about it, because the color palette that you choose, it feels
Yeah.
so calming. And you keep on talking about how you're like that foundation anchor that gives calm to your clients. So tell us more about that, Millicent.
Yeah, I think like so I'm in my 30s. I'm 33. And I think like the pandemic was really a space where a lot of people were able to grow into themselves and like really understand and apply, you know, who you are as a person. We've had just so much time to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like being queer is like it's like this term, right? That is like a political term to define people and then separate people and all of that history. But I think I've always been this queer person. I've always been out of the norm growing up, especially like looking the way that I am. I look a little bit ambiguous for many people, being like mixed race. So I've always been like that person on the side. I've always been like, trying to think in like different ways than like my peers. So I've always been this queer person, but when I really accepted it, I've had to do a lot of work, right? Around like shame and like what does that mean? Um, for me, accepting this person that I am, and everything, and growing up, like never really seen anybody, with the way that I look or being queer, even like when you're out playing in the playground, like I can remember like I was like, oh, this girl is so beautiful. And that was just a normal thing because I just loved everybody. But then like looking back, it's like, no, these were actually like some feelings that I had maybe for this person, but I never had the language, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think like the question, how does being queer and having an invisible chronic illness inspire my art? I think um, it's the way that I define art. It's really just kind of a way to express my inner world. It's a way that like I'm able to, show the world how I feel without words. Sometimes words can be attached to so many different things. Like the word queer could be very like politicized, but for me it's
Mm-hmm.
such a feeling and an understanding of like how I show up in this world, and how I reject the norm and how I reject like, a heteronormative way of being, right? Um, an invisible, when we bring in topics like invisible, like chronic illness, I think for me, when I do my art, it's really just a space where I'm able to kind of like let go of the things that can like bring me down, and that could be like mentally and physically. And I use those like soft colors as well because it just makes me feel good. Like the way that you said it made you feel good. It just makes me feel good. And I hope that like, that's what I bring to this world. It's the feeling of like goodness within like others, but also in myself, right? That's what I hope. And it heals me when I see those colors and like those little flowers that come from my like mind. Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Absolutely. And I love
Yeah.
that. It's so beautiful. It's France again, and I'm just squeezing in here just because I do want to talk a little bit more about invisible chronic illness. I'm actually someone who struggles with chronic body pain, which is not to the same extent, but still. And, like, I just want to know, like, what would you like folks to know? Because I'll definitely get a side eye if like I'm not getting up for someone when I'm sitting in the metro because I look younger and because I look like I'm in shape, but actually there's a lot of things going on and there's a reason why I'm not getting up potentially for someone,
Yeah.
but because of the way we're perceived, right? Folks don't
Yeah.
know that there's like actually a lot of body pain going on that's preventing me from giving my seat up in the metro, but that's not seen in the right way. So yeah, I just wanted to know, what is something you would like folks to know about being someone with an invisible chronic illness?
Yeah. I think like it's that saying, right? Like it's that way you never know what someone is going through, right? And I think like no matter like the ways that we think about each other, either like physically or like the way that they talk or, however another person shows up in the world, it's not always necessarily like the whole story of who they are. A lot of people could be masking. A lot of people can like be acting a certain way, just to like walk on this like on this planet. So yeah, you never know where anyone's coming from, and like just being like this gentle person to like one another and like everybody else around you is it just so important. And like, if someone says they can't make it, like just say, okay, thank you. And move on. And, you can have conversations about it next time, maybe, I statements, and everything. But yeah, you never know where anyone's coming from. And I think for a person that does have invisible chronic illness, I think just taking that space, like in that time for yourself. It's really, really important. And, healing is linear. You go up and down, you may go all the way back and side to side. So yeah, just being gentle with yourself and everybody.
I love that. Thank you so much, Millicent. This is Desiree speaking, and I'm so happy to have you. We're so happy to have you here on the show. And so happy to like that our lives have crossed. I'm just gonna shout out to France for connecting us a few years ago during the pandemic. And it's so beautiful what you said earlier, how the pandemic was an opportunity for a lot of people to get to know themselves. So I think that was just so beautiful. So these are the questions we asked everybody. And I know that this is really going to resonate just based on conversations that we've had. You've mentioned earlier that you're a mixed race kid. I myself and friends are raising mixed race kids as well. So I feel like it will come out with this question. But what ways have you ever been told or felt that you weren't Filipino enough?
Yeah, I think I had a lot of that from everybody around me, like growing up. So like growing up, I don't necessarily look Filipino enough for people. So they're like, you're not Filipino, or like, you're not Salvadorian. So I've had these like talks in my mind for like a very, very long time. I mean, I remember going to the Philippines when I was like about like 10 years old, and my cousins had a dance performance on like, I think it was like some kind of health week. and everybody was staring at me at the crowds on the side, so they had to put me in front of the show. So that made me feel like so like out of like community. It made me feel like I wasn't Filipino enough. There's so many ways that I was told, but mainly because of the way that I look. So yeah. So that's a lot that I've been going through. But now I'm like, no, I'm Filipino.
Yes. And what was the
Yeah.
switch, if I might ask? Like what switched?
Yeah.
What happened? Like if you can pinpoint something specifically that you just said, screw everybody, I am Filipino enough.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of years of work of like self-love and understanding for myself and who I am as a person, right? So it's been a lot of like radical self-love and kind of like canceling the people. They don't know who I am. Only I know who I am, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just curious also, like I'm
Hmm.
assuming like what was the experience also on the El Salvadorian side?
Hmm.
As a
Yes.
mixed race kid, because I'm understanding on behalf of all the other mamas raising mixed race kids, right? Like I have a lot of friends
Yeah.
that are mixed race, and I saw how my best friend is Moroccan Filipina, and growing up, I met her during her Filipino exploration phase in high school, and
Hmm.
then when we went to Dawson, she was connecting more with her Moroccan phase, and
Yeah.
then it slowly kind of led her to where she is today. But being able to witness that makes me, has created this compassion of the experience that my daughter's going to go through as well,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
both
exactly.
sides.
And I just wanted to add, I always say this every time Millicent's around. I have a soft spot for Millicent because my son is also a Filipino and Salvadorian and calls himself a Salvi-Pino, which I think is so cute.
Mm,
But yeah, Millicent, like echoing from what Desiree is saying, like, how do us mamas of mixed race children, potentially queer, right? Like, we don't know,
yeah,
they might
yeah,
be, do better, do better
Yeah.
so that it's better for the next generation of mixed race children.
Yeah, of course. I think like something that's really important is like language, right? So like being able to like have language and understand like your identity through that is really important. So, I mean, since since I was a child, I've been watching Filipino movies with my mom, so I do have a grasp of like most of the knowledge and understanding, right? And with that comes an understanding of your identity. I can definitely understand the way that Desiree's friend is going through life and understanding like being Moroccan and like Filipino. I think it's definitely like a journey. Right now, I'm really learning about like Filipino history and like all of these things, really trying to decolonize the way that I do understand the Philippines. And then in that, I'm like kind of sprinkling in like Salvadorian culture as well. And like, who am I and where do I come from? And these are things that you can definitely help your child with, like, maybe go to the Philippines and like go to El Salvador, having that connection, if possible, with like family. Keeping traditions alive also is really important. Right now, I feel like in my life, I'm kind of like looking for those traditions and I'm trying to fill that like feeling of like what I would say it's like an emptiness. I find it's really hard to have both of those cultures um within me because there's just so much that I'm like missing growing up in like a settler Canadian like culture as well. So it's a lot of decolonizing. It's a lot of like kind of reaching for um those identities. So I think like speak Tagalog, speak Spanish, go to those community events.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. I'm gonna pin that in my head. Um, so our last question is, what does Capwa mean to you?
Yeah, I think for me, it means a lot of things. But most of all, I think it's like this sense of like belonging to an identity that is just so caring. It is like the way that we connect with each other and the way that we kind of show up in the world. It's a sense of like, I care for you because you are Filipino and I am Filipino. And like, even if we don't know each other, because we do have that shared identity, it's like, oh, my sister, my brother, it's that like how would it's like community that we have with each other and that we do showcase to the world. Like I think like, you know, we'll bring that lumpia to like a party that we don't even know just because we care for you, right? Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much. I mean, we can talk to you all day, every day. Please come back, because I feel like there's so many other topics that you need to come back. We want you to come. Not you need to. We want you to come back to share and talk about. So thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Salamat for having me here.
Thank you, Millicent, for sharing your story. And thank you for all of you for listening today to Radio Kapwa on CKUT 90.3 FM. We will see you next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed our episode with Millicent Castillo, community ate, artist, unapologetic, human vessel of natural and strong emotions, an inspiration of mine. This is Laura, and once again, you are listening to Radyo Kapwa on CKUT 90.3 FM. Happy Filipino Heritage Month, Pride Month, and Men's Health Month. First on the menu for this episode, we've got Jazan Exclusives Chicken Joy Wrap with production by Cruz. Followed by our favorite news segment, hosted by the most velvety voice capable of silencing a room and commanding your attention. It's John Marvin Reyes with news from the homeland.
Watch me have fun with it. Jollibee chicken for breakfast. Bought my studies like a college kid. Baby, I'm realer than your necklace. In the homeland, you know what it is. Culture shock, need a set of dip. Sip dark liquor, that's brandy. Ice in my cup like candy. Dealing with problems on my pop-on. But we still fam, so I love him. Ask the homie for ad-libs. Phil M, got a little language. Who's wanna go when I spit the flow? Barangay Rats posted at the door. All my friends junk bar took. About to do a show, leave the bar shook. Shouts out Ruby Ibarra. Rap these bars like Isa, Dalawa, Tatlo. Guess I gotta go make the beat rock. Still gon' rap when the beat stop, yeah. Beauty and the Beast can't be stopped, yeah. Shouts out Cruz cause the beat knocks. Toes in the sand at the beach, brah. Flip the pace, I'm a heavyweight. While you wait, I just jump the gate. Pray to God cause I know my fate. All my life, gotta keep the faith. True story, true glory. What's the point of my allegory? I know my power, can't ignore it. Tell my story, can't tell it for me. Chicken Joy Rap. Going in like, aye.
Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Good afternoon everyone. My name is John Marvin Reyes. I am a youth leader and community organizer here bringing you important news back home in the Philippines. The article is from Push ABS-CBN with the title, Bratman Rock graces the cover of Vogue Philippines. Hawaiian-based Filipino beauty and social media influencer Bratman Rock is the latest celebrity to grace the cover of Vogue Philippines. Being Vogue Philippines' first ever Pride cover star, Bratman couldn't help but be emotional in the Instagram stories he posted last Thursday, June 1st. In line with Bratman's Vogue Philippines cover shot by Regina David, other members of the queer community are featured in the June issue as well. In his Instagram stories, the 24-year-old social media star turned emotional upon seeing himself on the cover of the magazine. This is the last video of me crying. I just want to say that this is Vogue Philippines' first Pride cover, and this is my country's Vogue Philippines' first Pride cover, and be part of it. Not even like a part of it, I am in it. Literally, I am the front cover, he shared. Bratman continued to cry while adding how he hoped that everyone who is just like him could be on the cover of Vogue someday. It's such a big deal. It's truly a big deal. I really wish. I hope that every brown queer quid gets to have their own Vogue cover one day because every queer kid deserves to feel like this, he added. In the Vogue Philippines issue, Bratman continues his journey towards self-expression in being non-binary, knowing his power and finding his way back home. He shared with Vogue Philippines that when he came out to his mom as non-binary, his mother needed him to explain to her what it meant. I just told my mom, I'm like you and dad combined in one soul. I don't know why it was the thing that made her, oh, okay, I get it. Because I told her I've always seen her as more masc than dad and always saw dad as more femme. My mom was the one working and my dad was at home putting my sister's hair up, and dad had really long hair. He had a skincare routine while my mom, I don't even think she knew what lotion was, he narrated. You can read how Bretman shared he has transcended his role as a digital influencer to using the same platform in providing aspiration among millions of his followers at Vogue. Other stories for Vogue Philippines for this month's issue include the University of the Philippines football player Bethany Talbot, Dr. Margie Holmes, renowned Philippine expert on sex and psychology, designer Chita Rivera, and the Golden Gays. Visit Vogue.ph and follow Vogue Philippines on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Vogue PH on Twitter. The article was written by Ju Asierto Portugal and published on June 1st, 2023. Thank you so much for listening. Maraming salamat sa pakikinig. Once again, this is John Marvin Reyes delivering you Philippine news from abroad.
Yes, yes, lioness, that's my sis. 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 She pushed me out my comfort zone, the cheerleader at every show. Boss ass Filipina with the laugh of a hyena. Name the date and she'll be there, but only if she really cares. Her Leo vibe is so strong and she's always on that new song. First child at a mom's womb, first to leave if they're out of tune. Always keeps it moving, only woman of color in the boardroom. I know what you're capable of, I've seen what you've gone through. I know that you'll make a party out of what you do. And when you move away, we'll watch you grow from a distance. A star expanding on a brilliant mission. We'll be swinging on the playground just on separate coasts. Shouting, keep going, sis, you're the motherfucking GOAT. When you move away, we'll watch you grow from a distance. A star expanding on a brilliant mission. We'll be swinging on the playground just on separate coasts. Shouting, keep going, sis, you're the motherfucking GOAT. Yes, yes, lioness, that's my sis. 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 Life, love, and other mysteries. What's the point of this? You say make a dent in history, seal it with a kiss. Throw back to your surfer days. You're still yelling, catch the wave. Next door, next level, seize the day. I know you'll keep shuffling those tarot cards. Know that home is never far. Our bond's undeniable. You were my first miracle. Sister, I'm so proud of you. Do what you came here to do. Keep counting your angels and the baby steps to moon. And when you move away, we'll watch you grow from a distance. A star expanding on a brilliant mission. We'll be swinging on the playground just on separate coasts. Shouting, keep going, sis, you're the motherfucking GOAT. When you move away, we'll watch you grow from a distance. A star expanding on a brilliant mission. We'll be swinging on the playground just on separate coasts. Shouting, keep going, sis, you're the motherfucking GOAT. Yes, yes, lioness, that's my sis. 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 Yep, that's my sis.
You just listened to That's My Sis by Kimortal. Up next is a song I've loved for a very long time. It's called Rainbow by South Border. If you know it, sing along.
Falling out, falling in, nothing sure in this world. No, no, breaking out, breaking in, never knowing what lies ahead. We can really never tell could understand why some things begin then just end. We can really never have it all. No, no, no. But oh, can't you see that no matter what happens, life goes on, and so baby, just fine. 'Cause I'm always around you, and I make you see how beautiful life is for you and me. Take a little time, baby, see the butterflies calling, listen to the birds that were sent to sing for me and you. Can you feel me? This is such a wonderful place to be. Even if there is pain now, everything will be alright. For as long as the world still turns, there will be night and day. Can you hear me? There's a rainbow always after the rain. Getting high and low, when you lose you should go. Yeah, yeah. Getting warm, getting cold, weather could be so good or bad. But baby, this is life, no, don't get mad. No, no, no. 'Cause oh, can't you see that no matter what happens, life goes on and on. So baby, please smile, just smile. 'Cause I'm always around you, and I'll make you see how beautiful life is for you and me. Take a little time, baby, see the butterflies calling, listen to the birds that were sent to sing for me and you. Can you feel me? This is such a wonderful place to be. Even if there is pain now, everything will be alright. For as long as the world still turns, there will be night and day. Can you hear me? There's a rainbow always after the rain. Life's full of challenges that all the time we get what we want. But don't despair, my dear. You'll take it stronger and you'll make it through the storm, 'cause you're strong. My faith in you is clear. So I say once again, this one's wonderful. And let us celebrate life that's so beautiful. So beautiful. Listen to the birds that were sent to sing for me and you. Can you feel me? This is such a wonderful place to be. Even if there is pain now, everything will be alright. For as long as the world still turns, there will be night and day. Can you hear me? There's a rainbow always after the rain.
Once again, that was Rainbow by South Border. If you didn't sing along, I know you wanted to. Couldn't be me, but my neighbors might complain later. Big shout out to Kat Daka for their Kapwa karaoke playlist, where most, if not all of the songs on this episode were picked from. Up next, we've got Power Trip by Classy featuring Ruby Ibarra, produced by OG the Producer, followed by another nostalgic OG tune, Nang Hihinayang by Jeremiah. Hope you enjoy.
power trip, knock 'em off the high horse. Feeling bad and mighty, got no love for snitches.
Of course.
9 months in the belly just for you to wear that uniform. Have you ever heard of overseers? You ain't nothing more.
Damn, Nina, why you hating? I'm a good cop.
You gotta wake up, homie, that's a fucked up job. Think about it, who wrote the laws you're paid to enforce? Think about it, you're only trained to show no remorse. Get away with murder in the line and make it alright.
Told the court I shot on sight, cause I feared for my life.
You're a tool to white supremacy.
No, I'm not.
Compare how many black and white folks the prison got. Tell me how much money system makes for every inmate. Paid administratively for every life you take. You corrupted motherfuckers think you got us in check. But when the people's adding up, you best protect your neck. Yeah. Tell me what's power to ya. Is it money? Is it fame? Is it influence your name? Or an instrument to gain? Tell me what's power to ya. Take a little taste and would you slip? Some more power to ya. If you got it and you never trip. All I see around here is this imbalance of power. I and these mimes and these cowards hiding in ivory towers, fighting their freedom in hours. And so we work by the hour. Another morning that we mourn until our seeds turn to flowers. See the ones that claim power, be the ones that lack them. And they criminalize youth and the brown and black men. All these pigs with a stick that's never fired from positions. But where we from, these pigs turn to stick in the fire's position. Cowards with power trip down the shit out of it. Counterfeit, how is it now they get out of it? That they feeling empowered. So we working overtime just to never equal power. Displacement over time just to give into the powers that be. I'm tired of being powerless in me. Our bloodline stripped of names, so is there power left in me? I wanna see my sisters know that power's what they see. I hope to see my daughters feel the power when they speak.
Yeah, go, let rap. Rap.
Say, hey.
Hey,
My name's Enoch.
me, Anna.
I'm 2 years old. You're done?
You,
My turn?
yeah.
Okay, it's my turn.
Inaamin ko, nagkamali ako. Inaamin ko, nasaktan ko ang puso mo. Iniwan ka nang walang dahilan, sumama sa iba, hindi man lang ako nagpaalam. Di man lang nagpaalam. Nabalitaan ko, lagi ka raw tulala. Dinibib mo aking pagkawala. Lagi ka raw umiiyak, lagi mo raw akong hinahanap. Di ka pa rin nagbabago, mahal mo pa rin ako. Nanghihinayang ang puso ko. Sa piling ko'y lumuha ka lang, nasaktan lamang kita. Hindi na sana iniwan pa. Iniwan kang nag-iisa at nagdurusa. Ako sana'y patawarin na. Nabalitaan ko, lagi ka raw tulala. Dinibig mahal mo pa rin ako. Nanghihinayang ang puso ko. Sa piling ko'y lumuha ka lang. Nasaktan lamang kita. Hindi na sana iniwan pa. Iniwan kang nag-iisa at nagdurusa. Ako sana'y patawarin na. Nanghihinayang ang puso ko. Sa piling ko'y lumuha ka lang. Nasaktan lamang kita. Hindi na sana iniwan pa. Iniwan kang nag-iisa at nagdurusa. Ako sana'y patawarin na.
I hope you cried, smiled, sung, and yelled to the bops I've cried, smiled, sung, and yelled to many a times in my life. The last few songs are called The Way You Look at Me by Christian Bautista, Your Song by Parokya ni Edgar, and Tell Me Where It Hurts by MYMP. And I will be right back with your community announcements.
No one ever saw me like you do. All the things that I could add up to. I never knew just what a smile was worth. But your eyes say everything without a single word. 'Cause there's something in the way you look at me. It's as if my heart knows you're the missing piece. You make me believe that there's nothing in this world I can't be. I never know what you see, but there's something in the way you look at me. If I could freeze a moment in my mind, be the second that you touch your lips to mine. I'd like to stop the clock, make time stand still. 'Cause baby, this is just the way I always wanna feel. 'Cause there's something in the way you look at me. It's as if my heart knows you're the missing piece. You make me believe that there's nothing in this world I can't be. I never know what you see, but there's something in the way you look at me. I don't know how or why I feel different in your eyes. All I know is it happens every time. 'Cause there's something in the way you look at me. It's as if my heart knows you're the missing piece. You make me believe that there's there's nothing in this world I can't be. I never know what you see, but there's something in the way you look at me. The way you look at me. It took one look, then forever lay out in front of me. One smile, then I died, only to be revived by you. There I was, thought I had everything figured out. Goes to show just how much I know about the way life plays out. I take one step away, then I find myself coming back to you, my one and only, one and only you. Ooh. Now I know that I know not a thing at all, except the fact that I am yours and that you are mine. Oh, they told me that this wouldn't be easy. And no, I'm not one to complain. I take one step away, then I find myself coming back to you, my one and only, one and only. I take one step away, then I find myself coming back to you, my one and only, one and only you.
Why is that sad look in your eyes? Why are you crying? Tell me now, tell me now, tell me why you're feeling this way. I hate to see you so down, no, baby. Is it your heart, ooh, that's breaking all in pieces, making you cry, making you feel blue? Is there anything that I can do? Why don't you tell me where it hurts now, baby? And I'll do my best to make it better. Yes, I'll do my best to make those tears all go away. Just tell me where it hurts now, tell me. And I love you with a love so tender. Oh, and if you let me stay, I'll love all of the hard way. Where are all those tears coming from? Why are they falling? Somebody There's so many things that I can do. Why don't you tell me where it hurts now, baby? And I'll do my best to make it better. Yes, I'll do my best to make those tears all go away. Just tell me where it hurts now, tell me, and I'll love you with a love so tender. Oh, and if you let me stay, I'll love all of the hurt away. Ooh, gonna take it all away, baby. Is it your heart, ooh, that's breaking all in pieces, making you cry, making you feel blue? Is there anything that I can do? Why don't you tell me where it hurts now, baby? And I'll do my best to make it better. Yes, I'll do my best to make those tears all go away. Just tell me where it hurts, not tell me, and I'll love you with a love so tender. Oh, and if you let me stay, I'll love all of the hurt away. Tell me, baby, tell me, ooh, yeah. Is there anything that I can do, babe? Just tell me where it hurts, now tell me, and I love you with a love so tender. Oh, and if you let me stay, I'll love all of the hurt away.
The last song you just heard is called Tell Me Where It Hurts by MYMP and was actually my introduction into Filipino music from the diaspora. And June is not only Filipino Heritage Month, but also Pride Month. It's a beautiful double celebration for us in the diaspora and our fellow baklas. So happy Filipino Heritage Month and happy Pride Month for the rest of the world. Without further ado, here are our weekly community announcements. Get your tickets and mark your calendars to highlight our kapwa Sarah Gonzalez on her book event as an illustrator for Maribel's Year. It'll be held at Petite Drawn and Quarterly. It'll be on June 28th from 4 to 6 p.m. Treats from Dre's Pies will be available. For more information, visit their Instagram at Petite Drawn and Quarterly as well as S. Gonzalez Art. Tickets for Layla Royals The Seas are currently also available on montrealfringe.ca. If you don't remember, it's the play where Kapwa Ray Michelle Comadero at Ray Comadero stars as Layla, written and directed by Lily Chang. Showtimes are June 11th from 8:30 p.m., June 12th from 9:15 p.m., June 15 from 10 p.m., June 16 from 3:45 p.m., June 17 from 7:45 p.m., and finally June 18th from 12:15 p.m. The show runs for 60 minutes and will be held at La Chapelle on 3700 Saint-Dominique Street. Purchase your tickets for these events in advance to secure your spot. Happening this evening from 6 to 8 p.m., the Refugee Center is hosting Health Navigation for Dental Care and Ophthalmology, a discussion on health coverage for refugee claimants and how you can access services covered under programs as well. Visit their Instagram at the Refugee Center to register. On Saturday, June 10th, Brick by Brick is hosting the Freedom Workshops, which is a series of workshops from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. that focus on holistic approach to self-development and community building. Participants will be guided through various activities to help them connect inward with themselves, outward with others, and with the community. Register your spot by checking their Instagram account at BrickXBrick. On the same day, hosted by the same organization, but with collaboration with our kapwa Desiree Rakepo of Ugnayan.tr and supported by Les Femmes du Monde Côte des Neiges, there will be a workshop on body care management, on self-massage, and spatial awareness. It'll start from 3 p.m. For more information, visit Desiree's Instagram at ugnayan.tr, which is spelled as UGNAYAN.dr. Still on the same day, June 10th, Solidarity Across Borders is hosting a discussion on Laval Migrant Prison, held from 5 p.m. at Espace des Possibles, located at 6790 Saint-Hubert. If you're interested, visit their Instagram at ssf.sab. Links can be found in our stories today only, but also on the artists and facilitators pages at any time. As always, thank you for tuning into Radyo Kapwa on CKUT 90.3 FM, soon to be on all other podcast and streaming platforms. I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday. Mabuhay mga kaibigan at kababayan.
Magandang hapon. Ako po si Millicent Castillo. Nakikinig kayo sa Radyo Kapwa on CKUT 90.3 FM. Liberation for one is liberation for all of us. Tuloy ang laban.